Sanbanani, and once again, 35 presents to you the For the Culture episode. And today I have one of the presenters who goes by the name of Wetu.
I feel like a guest. I feel like I'm a guest. I'm so used to it. I'm doing the intro and all of that. But TJ, yeah, I'm not a new face on this channel.
Okay, so yeah, and we are actually at the Ramblers restaurant where they're actually hosting us and allowing us to do the interviews here. So, today's a Monday.
It's a Monday. It's what holiday is it, Damush?
Apparently, it's Flag Day.
I thought it was Ascension Day.
Where?
I thought it was Ascension Day.
That's like on September. When?
Just walk and after.
Woo! I had a blonde
I think it's
moment.
in May. It's in May. Ascension Day should be in May. Yeah.
I don't even know the holidays, but anyway.
But yes, still, we had an event which I wanted to attend so much, but I couldn't. There was the Let's Have a Conversation with Creatives
Yeah, that
on
was
Saturday.
hosted by Nine to Lifestyle.
Yes, and today we are just bringing to you what it is that they spoke about. And seeing if maybe we can add a few things to it, because I'm pretty sure, Nati, we have our own opinions about some of the points that were made.
It's Sanbanani, sorry about that.
Hi, Nezo. Hi.
All right, thank you. And I see you're the genius behind the whole initiative. Thank you so much for having us today. We learned quite a lot. We actually saw the struggles and challenges in the country, so our industry. But for now, I'd actually really like to talk to this one first. You said you're an environmental photographer, right? So can you actually share the work that you've done that we can actually go back and look at, and where we can actually find your work?
Okay. Okay, you can find my work at my page. That's a 9 to lifestyle. That's our page actually, or my personal page is Tabiso, so Popeye, which is I know. Hey, it's Tabiso with TARPISO and then underscore Popeye.
Okay, so with everything that has been said today, what do you think is the step forward? Because you guys had talked about holding hands, to actually get us and to expose us to so many people. So my issue is what happens about the competitive perspective of it? Because in as much as we can hold hands, right, there's always going to be that one person that as soon as my work is advertised and showcased, I might as well ditch the whole organization and then start focusing on myself. So how do we actually plan on tackling that?
Do you want to answer that? No, stop. Okay. Basically, at this platform is here to tackle that. How? We as creatives have got to come together and then share ideas on how we can come together as and making this a success.
Maybe just to add on what he said, like in as much as we might be doing one and the same thing, but yeah, we're trying to promote unity, for instance, and good competition as well. In as much as I might be doing what Tabisa is doing, but what we're trying to do is we want to build that thing of supporting each other. Kungabi nale ukuthi so jealous sibanibanyana or something like that. It's just like, I don't know how I can put it, but yeah, it's just like something like we getting away of this thing of jealousy and try to support each other as a community or something like that. Yeah, I don't know if I answered your question.
No, you actually did. So, because you had stated that you're based in South Africa most of the time, or you've been in South Africa and you've been trying to, like, the whole point of this initiative is for you to actually come back in Swaziland and make it a point to unify every single person that's in the creator space. So, like, I'd like to believe this is the starting point. So, what do you plan? Like, what are your end goals? Like, what do you plan on seeing eventually at the end of all of this?
Okay. If you remember very well in the presentation, we spoke about the goals that we're hoping to achieve from all of this. So basically, we're trying to create a creative hub whereby young people who are in the art space can come here and learn more and network and also get some sponsorship. So at the end of the day, we want to create employment for the youth. We want to create job creators. We want to promote or add some professionalism, like creators to be more professional, and also, which is very important, to create that relationship between a creative and business people. So basically, that's what we're trying to do with this initiative, actually.
And I hope you guys are gonna offer mentorship for people that.
Yes, definitely, definitely. Nasa, because we are hoping to bring some a successful artists who are going to yabona network with other people here in this space actually.
Okay, thank you guys so much for actually coming to talk with 35. Thank you very much. Yep. So we had guests such as the 90 Lifestyle Gents. We had Caesar from Antidote. We had Tuba from Gubugisa. We had a representative for the Yugo collection, Thrifters, and we also had a couple of photographers. We had and 35 was also there. So
Of course, 35 is always there. I'm joking, but we're mostly there.
yeah,
Mostly.
so what they were actually talking about was, well, basically talking about the challenges that creators face, solutions, finding ways to go forward, and
Yeah.
what else did they touch on really? Oh, they're actually hoping with the next time there are actually more initiatives like meetings where they can actually discuss everything that was going on.
Yeah.
Right? So, well, I'm sorry, I even forgot Danzi Lezwane, who is a teacher by profession and self-taught writer, because she said she learned thing writing through someone else's
Yeah.
experience, so she was the third person in the able. Yeah, I'm so nervous. Anything at that.
There's no need to be.
There's
There's no need to be.
But anyways, so let's just get into it. Right?
Definitely.
So what the Let's Converse creators, sorry, I'll be looking at my phone because I wrote notes, right? Part of their objectives were providing networking. That means, creatives knowing each other. Yeah,
But don't they know each other?
they actually don't.
What makes you think they don't know each other?
Everything about creatives in Swaziland, it's a matter of, like being popular. Like if
That's the thing. Because, in my opinion, they know each other, but they choose not to recognize each other's talents. Because I feel like I may not recognize your talent because you have maybe a small following. And I use that as a gauge to your talent.
But then in most instances, because it's a matter of I'm not confident enough to actually put my work out there.
Then people don't know me.
Exactly. So
Fine, I feel like ikona leyo possibility. However, as creatives ourselves, we sideline each other because of standard that I have created myself. Because even though I'm an upcoming artist, because I'm now affiliated with well-known artists, I don't feel the need to come in contact with other upcoming artists. So I sideline them, and in that way I narrow down their networking. And now here we are having a conversation, Yegutsi. Guys, as Villainy network, whereas us ourselves are the same people that are actually closing down that network for upcoming artists.
I actually like that because I asked someone about that. When you're my gatekeepers into the whole thing, it's in as much as they haven't even made it that far, but it's just like when I say but when I let do the
Exactly.
upcoming ones are very
And in
zero.
that way, as an upcoming artist or creative or whatever it is that I'm doing, I will feel inferior. You understand? Because already the network.
and because you're doing something like not in the way that they're doing it.
Exactly.
automatically,
But it's a good point. I'm not saying it's a bad point. It's a good point. However, there is that perspective.
Alright, 35 Entertainment reporting live at the Mbabane Library for the Let's Converse with Creatives show. So right next to me we have Ayan Dizzy, who is a rapper and a Brit producer. So how are you?
I'm okay, but it's Ozzy, Ozzy. Yeah, but I'm good. I'm
All
good.
right. So as we've learned a lot today, what can you safely say were like key points for you to actually build the arts and culture industry in the country?
That's that's a loaded question. Um, it's a great time to be a creative person right now. That's one of the key points. I think everybody's just getting to a space where they're becoming more of who they are and how they feel and just expressing themselves a lot better. I don't think mic is working if I'm being honest. Is it? Alright. Well, with that said, yeah. What was the question again?
I asked you, do you feel like this initiative was the right way to actually point a really good step forward in the arts and culture industry? Like, do you think it's a really good initiative to get us where we're supposed to get, taking into account that there's so much talent in the country?
Yes. Because I have advocated for a long time to have a conversation, and we had a really great conversation today, and that's all I've been asking people to do is just talk.
So I actually heard you say that you're not in a proper headspace to actually get your music out there. So when do you actually think you'll eventually be at that point where you're like confident enough to actually show us what you're really good at and what you want to show us? And do you think there are enough people that are going to consume your content?
I ask God that question every night, every night, man. Yeah, that's a question that I put on God. Really, it's nothing to do with me. So yeah, in terms of when I'll have the confidence or when my headspace will be okay, that's God's timing.
But in the meantime, do you have content that we can actually consume as music lovers?
I do. I'm always working. I work with a whole bunch of people, so it's kind of what the dynamic that really messes up my whole process. So I work with a company, a collective, or a group called Hillbilly. Really talented young people that I'm really proud to be a part of the space. And I work with a whole lot of other artists, whose names are gonna pop up soon. And then my personal shindig, I did release music a couple years ago, so it's getting old. So I will have music eventually this year, hopefully. But I have a whole lot of music. I've been making a whole lot of music. I was just releasing it as a whole other avenue. So we'll see what happens.
All right, thank you so much for your time. And guys, please make it a point to stream. Where can we find Hillbilly's songs?
Oh, wait, just find me first, and then you'll find everybody. It's Ozzy's personal. That's my handle on Instagram. Ozzy's personal. It's just AZZYS_personal. Ozzy's personal.
All right, guys, thank you so much. As you heard, please make it a point to check Aziz's personals Instagram page for every musical content that he's done, and I'm sure he's gonna drop soon. So stay tuned, guys. Thank you. And they also talked about partnering with businesses for exposure purposes, in the sense of if you're a creative, they really like. They made an example, I think, with MTN branding.
Yeah.
With the billboards, the faces that aren't even known, or maybe they are known, but it's just like, okay, yeah, I know. I made the same face that you're making right now, right? And I think the guy was saying, what the billboard thing is, if I have a brand or I'm a model or whatever the case may be,
Yeah.
but MTN, I'm like talking about their minutes, advertising their minutes on the billboard. I should be wearing maybe a Meraki hat, played out sweater, whatever.
Yeah.
But in that way, MTN gets customers, Meraki brand or played out brand gets customers. Like everyone wins. If I'm a model, none of them I'm getting exposure. Yeah, well,
Exactly. But that's the thing. They use the same people. They use the same people
you.
because angifuni ukuthi it's the very same people that have conversations or host conversations like this who then tend to recognize the same people over and over again. However, it's really difficult as an upcoming artist ukuthi approach MTN because MTN nebantu bakhe And that's what people say. When I come up to my peers and they say, oh, Yati, I have this thing that I want to do with MTN. What are you going to say to me? MTN unebamvu bakhe. In that way, I'm going to set my idea down. And I'm not going to pitch it to them because bane bantu babo.
But
At this
they're
point,
not lying.
and they're not lying, and that's the sad thing, because take for an example Standard Bank. Remember when Standard Bank had that brand ambassador thing? It was amazing. Gave creatives a whole lot of, or rather a chance to showcase what they're good at. Cool. Competition. Sifaka my video ethu. Yabo, this is my influencer. We're bringing it to a Sardini, and then Baba Keta people won.
And it stopped. I feel like it just stopped.
Even the people that won were questionable. People had a lot of things to say. Everyone was just complaining about why is it that it is always the people that are known. It's always the same people that have already established a name for themselves. Why not give other creatives a chance who have not established a name for themselves? But it's Koniguti, MTN, Ati, I played a role in building this person's name or that person's brand. I could see, I'm told, it's, the thing is, we've had so many creatives in front of this very camera complaining about the same thing, but nothing is happening. No one is actually taking the initiative to stand up for them and do something about what's happening to their careers.
You know cancel culture, right?
That's the thing.
Because people have favorites.
Then
They have favorites. You start talking about the favorites. Show me your cancelled. Like, no. Vele,
Iphela lana nginzaba you're the anchor. But then it shouldn't be like that, because at the end of the day, everyone is going to stand in their truth. And if it's going to affect me as a brand, of course I'm going to stand my truth, regardless of whether you're going to cancel me or not. If I feel like a certain initiative is standing in the way of putting bread on the table for myself, why should I not speak about it? Because I'm not going to do that. Whoever supports me will support me, and whoever doesn't. You can't make everyone happy. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to come with so much.
Yeah, no.
But
I get you. I really do.
But then, okay, let's continue with the points of.
Alright, standing right next to me is Sakile and Sibande, who happens to be who has been telling us the whole time that if you're interested in arts and culture, you make it a point to talk to her because she's, I'd say, close buddies with the municipality.
Come on.
I mean, how else can I put it? But anyways, please just tell us who you are and introduce us.
Well, my name is Sakilan Sabande, and my brand name is Plan B. What we do is we craft talent, artists have raw talent. So what we do, we bottle it up in a nice brand and we put it out there for people to consume. Yeah, I hope that makes sense.
We also talked about you being on every entertainment perspective, from music to art to videography. How do you make it a point to actually channel through all of that? And have you ever came across any difficulties?
Well, I guess everything just happens one step at a time. So it's little bites, and then we all know what the bigger picture is. The bigger vision of artists, is kind of being at a level where they are sustainable through their art. So we work with quite a number of people. We want to expand and grow bigger.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And lastly, do you have any creative inspiration? Where do you draw your creative self from?
From my flaws. Yeah, that is how I.
And do you have any message that you want to share to any person that's afraid or insecure about their creativeness?
Stay true to your brand. That's the message that I have. Yeah.
Anyways, thank you guys so much. We also talked about mentorship.
Yeah.
Where you're an upcoming artist, creative, you want someone to mentor you, show you the right path to take,
Yeah,
show you the right routes for you to actually be in the industry, right? He actually made an example in MTN Jigs, right?
Yeah.
He said if you want to be an like event organizer, then actually make it a point for you to talk to jigs,
Yeah.
hear him out how you started the whole bushfire festival and everything. And my chat was like, I feel like it's actually really difficult. It will be like a really difficult point to get through because nakhona kunema gatekeepers. Umuntu omncane is gonna come up to you with a really brilliant idea,
Yeah.
event whatsoever, and they feel like, oh, okay, I might have competition.
Exactly.
Akuhlabekele, like,
Yeah, but and
everything
they're the very people that sabotage them.
goes south. It's like, don't put too much money or whatever in this
But
person's
this
business.
is not going to work
You
out.
know, or they'll just steal your ideas.
Because bamandla ngalapho.
Ah,
Hi guys.
Nkosi yami,
And then
yo.
they come and they turn the whole thing into their own idea.
No credit.
Can see the beauty and mentorship is that as an established brand, I use my power and my experience to teach someone else. And that on its own should bring satisfaction to me. Gugutiati, at least I played my role. Gansi, that's why we're always doing these charity things, ne? Because with what I have achieved, I want to help someone else. That should be the mindset. Hayi ukuthi ngibone ngathi, hi, competition lona. And then I sabotage them.
And Maswati, I felt like when they were picking up the points, I was like, no, you know what? These are really good objectives. I'm not gonna lie, but before we start lying and saying may this bambani for way forward in the creative industry,
But also
introspection.
Nesisa, I can't say I don't blame them. However, I can say I understand wanting to sabotage. Hi Gabi, please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying sabotaging is good, but when you look at it, go see how long it can take you as a creative in the country to get to the top. Thinking about helping someone else get to that point, aphinza buye abe competition yakho. You come to think gokuthi, ish, yet I worked hard to get here. Yeah, I'm trying to I'm trying to put myself in their shoes. Yeah, but what's because it wasn't easy for them either.
But I feel
And
like
maybe
at
they
that-
just want to enjoy it a little longer.
But I feel like already you know your customers, you have your target market.
But
Why
I
you
just want to
validating
enjoy it a little longer.
No, stick to your target.
just
market.
want- I
baby,
just want to
stick
enjoy it a
your
little
target
longer.
market. Because maybe your target market is like 30 and above.
Because nanale industry, yeah, entertainment and creativity in a certain is quite narrow. It is very narrow. So that's like when umuntu nakabambe spot sakhe, I'm sticking there. And I'm not bringing anyone else up here with me because it wasn't easy for me to get here. Yeah, understand? I think that's the mindset they might have. I don't know. Angicabangi ukuthi lawyer per se. Uyabo.
It's not a proper one. It's not a proper. Because I hate the fact that these people are going to stand in front of us, right? And tell us, no, we're all about empowering the creative industry in the country.
The issue is that,
You know,
okay.
they lie. Like,
They lie.
And you're like, they're okay. You know, but what are you bringing to the table?
Yeah, that's
Nothing.
true.
Nothing. And then they were like we also touched on challenges right, of every industry, music, writing, everything. So the first challenge that most of them like really complained about was exploitation.
That people don't want to pay.
Not really, yeah, that, but not would see, yeah.
Because
yeah.
in my head, now my exploitation, or rather nabakhuluma ngayo, the first thing that comes to my head is that they're not paying them what they're worth. Like, I mean, like, you can't tell me, Goguti. As I've said, we've had a number of artists on T Podcast coming here and complaining about what the only payment they get is a bucket of alcohol. Yeah, bo. That's all they get. They don't even pay for their transport. Maybe they get a plate of food. But it's just an influx of beer. Okay, you know what?
I think it's a
You're
6.
sorted.
It must be a 6. They give them a 6. 6, right? Yeah, 6.
And that's all. That person is expected to give an incredible set, maintain the same energy throughout, arrive at this particular location on time, be there for a certain amount of time, konke logo all for a 6 year beer.
Yeah, and maybe what exposure. Because
What does the
when
exposure
you get
do?
exposed to people, you get girls. Because someone, like we had CNX, I think, last week or the other
Yeah.
week. And he touched Gucci, like, he used to perform, I think, at Dej, really. So he'd get free drinks, and then he'd get exposed, girls, obviously. Because there's a point in time, there's a point in time where girls were, like, really interested in people. When I see you on stage, I'm like, ooh, who's that gent, So for
Yeah,
them, it was
but-
just like, I'm actually performing because I want to get girls, and then there's a free drinks. And, guys.
I think it comes down to inang yakho as a creative, your main reason for doing what you're doing.
Yeah, they
Because
actually
there are
touched
people
on
that
purpose.
I can be a rapper now because I want to attract men.
Okay.
I don't know if that's but like men are
No.
yabo ukuthi yabona those yabona nje nabo CDQ, they're into hip hop. Okay, say goes okay nyalo sengifuna rapper because I want to be yabo noticed by CDQ. That's my reason. Yabo, that's my reason. Whereas there's a person who's actually making music
'Cause they
to
love
pay
it.
rent, to buy food, and to maintain their own personal hygiene or health or whatever the hell it is. But yeah, understand that just to maintain themselves as a person, and ngiyakungitshela ukuthi utanginike 6 year beer. Mastandi utawuthini ngale 6 year beer? Utawuthini mastandi? Utawuthini mastandi? It doesn't make sense. It comes back down to the fact that these well-established brands are the same people that are stepping on our feet and taking the bread off of our tables. Because bathini, in a 6 year beer, you'll be fine. Not everything is about enjoyment. It's about trying to survive. It's an
One
emotional.
gent
It's not everything is about that.
And one gent actually touched on that on Twitter. What's he? Abona with the exploitation one. It's actually deep because maybe it's 500. Yeah. And they'll try to negotiate it to 500 to go back to 250. So why not lie and just tell them what's
Nezisa,
my rate is gonna be
ukhuluma nga
800.
500 when we had Lungelo waka ugago, right? The one who makes the
Yeah,
bracelets.
I
People
know.
negotiate a bracelet at 30 rand and they price it down to half the price like begile yena. Do you know how ridiculous that
It
is?
actually is because
You don't even
know the
want to
type-
pay. You don't know how much this man is making this with his own hands. And when we asked him, what does he do with the money that he makes the bracelets for, or rather the money that he makes off of them? He pays rent. He buys food. He maintains himself as a human being, gives himself basic needs, and you want to negotiate someone's price down to 50%.
I
It
guess
cost of
he's
living
like-
it doesn't make sense. At the end of the day, we all have, it's not all of us that are going to be doctors and lawyers and all of this. And that's what people don't understand.
Yeah.
Because ingingi balanek telini, I also really strongly feel like established brands tend to feel like ema artists ahlulwa skolo. So sebamane bayabasita. Bayabazama. We're giving you exposure. We're giving you can't even afford the 6-pack Castle Light. Sianipa. These people are learned. Some of them are smart.
Very.
They chose to do this because it's their passion. They should pay them for their passions. I'm just saying.
I hope you guys are hearing what we're saying. So please don't take advantage of these creators. Give them what they're worth.
I hope
Because
never edit abafaka. You see that meme? Yeah, udlame on.
shame violence.
I really hope I because guys,
No
it's
shame,
just
yeah.
not it.
And this is the last guest that we're having on the show. This is actually Linda Zwanie, who happens to be in the beauty company and is doing microblading.
Hi, everybody.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
All right, thank you. So please tell us how you actually ventured into microblading.
Okay, so I was working with Black Sheep. He was doing tattoos at that time, and there's a friend of ours. His mom was like, "No, Linda, I think you should do this thing. It's called microblading." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "It's big in Mozambique." I'm like, "Okay, fine. Let me see what it is," and then eventually I'm like, "Okay, let me go on and check what this thing is," and I was like, "Okay, this is cool." So I start doing my research. I'm like, I actually think I really like this. Because at that time, Smeppy, Black Sheep, was teaching me how to do the tattoos. So I was like, nah. already people know his name, and obviously it was gonna take time for me to start making money or building my brand separately. So I was like, nah, let me try this. And then I got this, I got onto the internet, I had a whole probably 50 pages of information just on microblading, what I need, what. And then eventually I found a school in Santon to give me lessons. So I started saving for that, and then yeah, here I am.
So how do you feel about people being insecure because you don't have any piercings, but you do piercings? So how do you tackle that, and how do you convince people to actually sit down and have their piercings done by you?
Well, firstly, I have good customer service. That's the first thing. And two, I think a lot of people, because of how I make my clients feel, the ones that I've worked with, because some people will come to me because of reference. So already you're coming to me because someone told you, oh, this girl's nice and her work is like this, and you already like it. By the time you get to me, you're like, but how come you don't? I'm like, you've seen the work, right? So my work will speak for me. What if I have like nice piercings, but my work is not so good? So I just convince me, like it's diversity and inclusion also at the same time. That's how I sell it. We're diverse, but we're also included in everything that we do. There's no need for us to be the same. It's much more fun if we're all different.
All right, lastly, if anyone wants to book an appointment, like, do they hit you up on your Instagram page? How do they talk to you?
Okay, so you can get me on my Instagram page, which is boobra_ for lovers and friends. And that's so that you get like boo for love and bra for friend. And then, you can text me on WhatsApp as well. So I don't know if I'm supposed to say the number. You'll check it on my page. Yes.
All right, thank you guys so much. Bye. We also touched on the no funding for creatives. We see there like not much funding. If
And
I
there
want to start a
isn't.
business, where should I go? Or like you said, these establishments have their people.
They have
I
their
will come
people.
with a really good idea.
Exactly.
Daily funding. We'll see what we can do. Come back after what we don't have money. I figure it's ban. I figure now too. You know, just a simple thing. Maybe I don't know. Yabo, figure now daily funding, but very back maybe 100K.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, we la party is a win. So
And I don't. I mean,
I feel
I
like we
really-
have a lot to say.
I think it's just that when they come on the podcast and I get to interact with them from, say, a very far off view, I wouldn't think it actually affects them the way that it affects them
does.
when I sit down and I talk to them.
It does.
Yeah,
It
but
actually really,
so
really
now
does.
personally, I honestly feel strongly about these things because I've seen how it affects them and I've seen it through their eyes as well as when they speak on the mic. Ubone kokuthi, you know what, this person genuinely hurts because of this. And they really just want to try and be understood and heard, yabo. So man, this really was an amazing platform to speak about all these issues and tackle any possible solutions that may come around. Because at the end of the day, something needs to be done. Yabo. But yeah, let's go on.
Okay, another challenge that we touched on was no proper channels for them to actually get to funding.
Yeah.
You know, how to market their work. I think with Tanzile, the author,
Yeah.
right, she touched on Guti, she really didn't know how to publish her book, who was going to market it for her, because I think they even asked if she tried talking to Macmillan.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't know, she said it was difficult for whatever reason, right? And it's just like, because we eventually ended up talking and asking her if there's even a writers association in the country.
Is there?
And to our misfortune, there actually isn't.
Sure, I can imagine how hard it is to write a book and want it published in the country.
Yeah, because she even touched on Guti with the publishing. She had to go to those people, because
Kutang da printer,
the
I
other
mean.
ones were charging like really ridiculous prices, and it was just like, okay.
Sekangenda njani?
Yeah, bona. So she's just like, I took the easy way out, you know, and it's just like, okay, I see my platforms for us writers, you know, to get our work out there. You
Yeah.
know, it's okay, maybe if my work sells, you know, tata leo percentage ncane from, you know, the sales, you know, so everyone wins at the end. But it was just like, okay, these people.
But I can imagine how hard it is to be a writer in the country, because even with music, gulkun, and people listen to music every day. Reading, a lot of people don't read. We don't like buying books. Books are expensive, so we borrow them. But you can't borrow from the author themselves. So, how hard is it to be a writer in the
Very
country?
difficult. She like, you could actually see good to know she went through it when she was
Because
speaking.
Gunabo, what's this app? Wattpad. There's Wattpad. A lot of writers use Wattpad. A lot of
Actually told her to
Eswatini
use-
writers.
There's this platform that they told her to use. There was also another platform that they gave her
Uh-huh.
for her to publish her book, because you know you can't actually want a hard copy. Not a soft copy.
But you know the thing is, a lot of readers that I know, yeah, but there's that thing about a hard copy. I'm that person. I can't read a soft copy. I need a hard copy. Yeah, well. So a lot of people I know like hard copies. So in the country, nangabunga conic publisher. Macmillan, Macmillan, but bengathi ukuthi you'd have issues with Macmillan.
Yeah, she said she had issues. I don't know what the issues.
Then
were.
there's
She understood.
WordPress with my bloggers. I know a couple of bloggers that post their work on WordPress. Publishers, Wattpad. We don't have all of this. But bamfana labafunzile who love reading books and who have this imaginative mind, which is incredible, make up stories and they put it into an entire book, but kude labangakwenda about it. Tawuhlala la kibo. So I think maybe a writers association would be an amazing idea. It would be.
I mean, this next point, we touched on the Ministry of Arts and Culture. With, I think, 99% of the people that were in the room immediately complained ukuthi kulukhuni kukhuluma nebantfu labangadi ukuthi kwendekani. Because these people aren't well versed with the arts industry, entertainment industry, and the culture industry. Kungena angathi ukuthi bangena njani ema-ofisini. Shem, because
This does not mean
It's
we are
not
pro
mean.
anything. We're just saying.
we're just putting it the way that most people see it. Yabo. So their complaint was, Guti, if the Minister of Arts and Culture doesn't know much about labakona kona, how are the people that are supposed to benefit from the whole ministry going to benefit?
I'd have never seen an arts or creative strike. Abazange seba strike. Kan manje thinking about that. I'm not saying they should strike. I'm not saying. I'm just saying that a lot of people strike, and I've never seen creative striking, even if it's just a peaceful march or something. But to attract the attention to the issues that they have, I feel like it would be a good idea.
Because it's really simple,
Because
guys.
yes, it's nice to have these closed meetings as my creatives to talk about these things, but talking about them isn't really working through them. Because at the end of the day, if there's a person who needs to be engaged in all of this, Minister of Arts and Culture.
Really?
And if no one is speaking to the Minister of Arts and Culture, Minister of Arts and Culture is going to think he's doing an amazing job.
And sometimes I feel like maybe they do speak to them. It's just
When?
Kunmanjani nemuntu longadi ukuthi aqale kuphi.
And you can't use the same way to speak to a person. Einstein washo ukuthi insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. You need to try something different. And if they're going to keep doing the same thing, vele they're going to get the same results. Because batase bathini, it comes back to tin ababathathe serious because they're doing the same thing.
And really, you're not lying.
That's why I'm going to strike. I'm not instigating anything,
You're
but
not lying. But Jenna,
I
I
feel
feel like even the selection criteria for these ministers, like, can you please put something on, like, put.
That is just a matter at large.
And
I don't.
that one is a very big one.
That one
like,
is just a matter at large. Go appoint to an disappoint talk about minister.
yeah, Shem, it's
Just-
bigger than 35.
It's bigger.
Yeah, it's bigger
Yeah,
than all
well-
of us. But guys, they actually really touched on that. Lastly, creatives not knowing their brand and their target market, because Kanzagos, there are going to be instances where I'll try a certain type of how do I put this? Okay, I'll try every industry, right?
Yeah.
I'll get into music, it doesn't work for me. Branding, clothing doesn't work for me. Acting, it doesn't work for me. Dancing, it like none of things work for me. And at the end, it's just like maybe saying that pinza employing, or I'm going to start copying someone else's work, and I'll come back to complaining. Go, so Swazis don't support my work.
Because I'm getting busy and
And it makes it like really difficult for us customers to actually talk to you, because we're like, hey, boy, this person isn't sure about their story. Aside to go see. Hey.
I get the image that it gives off. But niyang blame in ngoba ngiyakolosh antheng ngiyahlabela anendilutho ngiyapenda anidi kutobuka ngiyathunga anithungisi kimi
Uyakuthanda yini imfundo yendawo?
ngiyakuthatha, but at the end of the day I gravitate towards what looks like is working out. I am going to try music if I see you guys listening to music. And if you don't listen to music and you guys are into arts and canvas paintings, I'm going to find a canvas and I'm going to paint on it.
Nah.
We're all just trying to eat at the end of the day.
Yeah, but at least try to eat ngempholo wathi kahle ukuthi uyayithanda. It comes because you're not.
But bese angidli khona. I'm not.
Listen, because I think Vele Sonke Walaga 35 actually touched on that.
I still say we need a new name for him. We need another name for
Because
him.
actually touched Kelana's from Yashem, he's on the commercial side of everything. And with that, you can actually eat. But Lani and follow it hands out. At least you're gonna try put so much work into your craft. Give it time. Be willing to I'm gonna get disappointed. Right? But I work through those disappointments, I learn from them, and we move.
Yeah.
So not that big tuma. You're not gonna you're gonna keep on getting disappointment. You're not gonna learn anything from that, and that's gonna be a problem, because so many just creative but if
Clearly you can do it all.
you're
Clearly
not
you can do
doing
it
it
all.
perfectly, so let's just sideline
I
for a second.
understand, but kuba nako lokuthi, okay, say kahle kahle I'm a rapper. I'm spitting, it's not working. And then maybe I'll gravitate towards DJing, but ngibe hip hop DJ. Still, I will have a passion for it because it's in line with hip hopping. But now I'm learning something new. Singa DJ because ngathi niyababoka labo DJ. I can say I commend them for staying within the circle of art, but I think it's a matter of gukhetha, like really thoroughly choosing how you're going to move into the next type of art in line with what it is that you do initially. You understand? So it doesn't look like, it's okay, kahle kahle, I'm a rapper, but now I'm a dressmaker. Unless it's a talent that I have, then that's a different story.
But
It was a heavy conversation.
no, it was you were actually surprised because these people are all different in their crafts, and the challenges that they all came with was like everyone was affected by the same challenge,
Regardless of what it is
regardless,
you
exactly. So it was just like and to the point where even if like these well-established brands like Nabakuluma, we okay, this person has made it, and we say another upcoming one, and like it's okay, this is the same thing.
We actually
And
go
I've
through the
made
same
it, but I'm
issues.
still complaining about the same thing that's happening.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, this is very informative. Like it was really informative.
I just hope that with time, we continue to have conversations like this, and they're a lot bigger, and the initiatives are actually implemented. Whatever solutions that are discussed, they are implemented at a much bigger and broader scale, so that we can actually manage the difference and see, go, it's okay, no, this actually worked, this didn't work because of A, B, and C. So I really commend them for what they did. It was absolutely amazing. And I feel it's something they should continue to do, to give creatives a voice, to actually just bring out what it is that they're facing and hopefully find solutions.
Well, there were solutions that were talked about.
So yeah, that is what we had today on For the Culture. Do stay tuned, continue to subscribe, continue to like the videos on this channel, and a huge shout out to Ramblers. Thank you so much for hosting us today. Bye.